This is the day, this is the day that the Lord hath made.
Hello, and welcome to our podcast. This is Unity Church of Chatsworth. Our spiritual leader, Reverend John Washington, and I am Michelle Washington, RN, pastoral nurse.
May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord. From the Gospel of Mark, chapter 11, verse 25. But when you are praying, first forgive anyone you are holding a grudge against, so that your Father in heaven will forgive your errors too.
For the next 2 weeks, this week and next week, as we talk about forgiveness, we are going to be talking about taking inventory. Now, you're going to need some supplies for that. We're going to suggest that you do your inventory. You actually write it down. So you'll need a notebook or a piece of paper, a writing implement of some sort, and if you choose to, maybe a highlighter, because we're going to be taking a look at that inventory next week to see what things we can do, what things we might be able to do that are questionable, and the things that we know we absolutely cannot to do. And that's okay. Yes.
Mastermind step 5. And Michelle, this is the one that, again, we're using the Jack Boland 8-step method.
Yes.
But we're also going to include inventory. And
yes.
Go ahead.
Well, we're referencing the Reverend Jack Boland 8-step mastermind process.
My teacher.
But the Reverend Jack Boland was a 12-step person prior to journaling, creating the mastermind journal. So anyone who's familiar with addiction work or AA or narcotics using the 12-step process may recognize some of these steps. The I surrender and I forgive. These are also steps from the 12-step process. In the 12-step AA big book, we learned that the 4th step is taking an inventory.
Yes, as we're forgiving, we're taking an inventory
of what we're going to forgive.
We're writing it down.
Yes, we're going to take an inventory of what we are going to forgive. So basically, this takes some work. We have to sit down, and it takes some time. This is not something that you do one day at one step, just one time you do it. You sit down with many things that you may need to forgive. And when I do this process, as we're talking about it,
yes,
there are some things that happened to me as a child that I carry with me
many years ago.
Yes,
when you were a child,
when
Michelle.
I was a child, and they produce defense mechanisms for me. Thank you for listening to our podcast. Have a blessed week.